Good afternoon. Thank you for joining the fall edition of President's Town Hall. We are going to wait just a minute or two as I see a bunch more people coming in to the webinar. Thank you for being here. We will get started at 12:42, and that way we won't have to repeat anything that we say right at the beginning. So. All right, good afternoon. We will go ahead and get started. Looks like we have about 75 folks with us so far, and I'm sure more will come in as they're able to get logged in. But thank you for joining the fall edition of the President's Town Hall. It is a busy fall semester already with our highest enrollment at the college in 8 years. I thought I'd start by just giving a kudos to our performing arts faculty and students. The fall production, The Love of the Nightingale, is underway. I actually this Friday night attended the music department's faculty recital, which was a wonderfully diverse set of pieces, thoroughly enjoyable. And on my way out, I heard folks buzzing in the lobby who had just attended The Love of the Nightingale. And a couple of people independently of one another said, "This is the best College of Marin production I've ever been to." So I encourage you to go see that. I know that it's got a couple weekends left upcoming throughout the rest of the month. I also have started my semesterly visit to classes, and I've really enjoyed interacting with students so far, and a lot more to come. Students seem very engaged. I also hear a lot of excitement about the Center for Student Success. More on that later in our program. And I also know, and I want to start by just an acknowledgement that I know that not just students, but all of us really continue to worry about events and actions beyond our campus borders. And I do want to take a moment to restate that the College of Marin remains fully committed to our mission of providing equitable opportunities and fostering success for all members of our diverse community. Just this past week, 9 institutions of higher education from around the country were approached by federal officials to sign a compact adhering to the federal administration's priorities. Failure to sign will put their federal aid at risk. At least that's what they're being told. The threat is clear. Do what we say, how we say to do it, or else. And I have to say, this is unnerving to say the least. The autonomy of institutions of higher education, academic freedom are part of the cornerstone about what makes our democracy our democracy. And this, quite frankly, is government coercion and violates all of that. Now, I would say we should be ready for this insidious overreach to spread to other universities. It will also be challenged in the courts, and hopefully that will have a positive outcome. But likely at some point, something like this will come to community colleges as well, even though we've been able to fly under the radar with a lot of the federal actions. So late last week, I participated in a call with my colleagues, other presidents and chancellors at our sister California community colleges. And while we have thus far not been in the spotlight with many federal actions, community colleges are starting to face the effects. We at College of Marin do not have federal grants, so we are not facing cuts due to that. A lot of our sister colleges are. But all of us on that call believe that our turn will come. And this is why our internal response team has been convened, much like we convened one during the pandemic, and is looking at policy and various contingencies This is also why the Bay Area Community College's Mutual Support Compact that our trustees signed on to this summer is meeting later this month. I'll be meeting with that group. This is also why I've been working with Legal Aid of Marin and other local organizations to join forces and codify our mutual support as we continue to monitor, meet, discuss, and prepare, hoping that we are not affected directly by federal actions. It seems our mission and values, unfortunately, will increasingly put us at odds with different federal mandates and overreach. All this to say, I continue to believe we must constantly practice mission fidelity, regardless of outside pressure. This is going to be our best guide as we navigate whatever may come our way. And we might need to adjust our policies along the way, and we most certainly will benefit from the mutual support and coordination I mentioned. And the last thing I will say on this, if it needs to be said, as president, I will never support the college signing a loyalty oath that is in conflict with our mission and values. And we will carry on. And while this is all continued reason to be concerned about myriad national and world events, I do want us to think about how fortunate we are to be here in Marin, at the College of Marin, amongst such a wonderfully diverse student body and talented and dedicated professionals working in and out of the classroom. Because there's a lot of reason to celebrate the great work and wonderful things happening here at the college. And I want to start with some very exciting news. You may have read in the Marin Independent Journal or seen elsewhere that College of Marin has received a $10 million endowment fund grant from the J. Pritzker Foundation. This is a matching grant, which means that for every dollar that our college foundation raises over the next few years, it will be matched up to $10 million. This means that we might reach a $20 million endowment specifically designed to aid students with non-tuition expenses. This means that moving forward, once this endowment is in effect, no student in perpetuity will need to choose making rent over taking that extra class, finding money for transportation instead of showing up to class, worrying about how they will pay for books, taking on that extra shift instead of taking a class. So we're very thankful for this immensely generous opportunity from the J. Pritzker Foundation. And I know that we're very excited to pursue the fundraising that will come with this. Our centennial theme is honoring our past and defining our future. And this Centennial Endowment Fund will define a future where every student has the resources necessary to pursue their educational goals, whatever those are. Big shout out to Keith Rosenthal, our Director of Advancement. He deserves huge kudos for his work to get this matching grant opportunity in place and for the work to raise the $10 million. That's now the real work begins to maximize it over the next few years, as do our foundation board and board of trustees. So kudos to them for their leadership in this. Now, as I have noted previously, the current IVC campus in Nevada opened 50 years ago as the Indian Valley Colleges after 4 years of operation at Hamilton Field. So to kick off our centennial and celebrate IVC's history, another milestone, the golden anniversary of IVC and our centennial at the college this coming year, and the amazing programs and activities we have at IVC, and additional activities and programs we have planned in the future there, the IVC Showcase will take place this coming Saturday, October 11th. So to say more about the showcase, and this is where we'll move to the next slide, is our multimedia studies graphic design professor, Seth Courtwright. Seth, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Eldridge. Hello. If anyone hasn't met me before, my name is Seth Courtwright. And as Dr. Eldridge mentioned, I run the graphic design and some multimedia classes out here at IVC. And also, as Dr. Eldridge alluded to, we are in our centennial year celebration. And one of the first events that we are going to have kicking off that celebration is going to be the IVC Showcase. This will be coming up October 11th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We've got a lot of talented people putting in a big amount of work to make this a really exciting event to connect with our local community. We're going to have food trucks and beverage trucks with free food offerings. We are going to have program tours with the different programs out here at IBC. There will be automotive shows, organic food farm tours. There's going to be special events, and we're going to have some really cool breakout sessions. So for anyone interested in learning more about our programs out here at IBC, they'll be able to tap into some hands-on events. And if we can flip to the next slide, I'll break some of those info out. Perfect. So the automotive program is going to be hosting a car show spanning the decades of automotive design. The machine and materials department is going to have a hands-on digital manufacturing demonstration. And with game design, web design, and graphic design, we will have breakout events where members of the community come in, learn about the program, and do some hands-on game design and learn about some of the new emerging AI technology. And in addition to these breakout sessions, there's going to be a large kind of communal gathering where we're going to have all sorts of events. We're going to have a live DJ. I think I forgot to mention that. And then next slide, please. Great. In addition, other programs along public service, allied health are going to have some breakout sessions. Dental program is going to kind of have a hands-on dental education program. Fire foundry and medical assisting will have on some hands-on first aid training. Court reporting will have a demonstration where attendees can try dictation. CIS program will have some interactive sessions in geometrics. As I mentioned at the top, the farm tour will get some love at the back of campus out here. It's a beautiful setting. And then ESCOM will also be leading some really cool demonstrations. There's going to be a digital workshop where folks can come out and up-level their camera skills. And then there's going to be a Ledo Art of the Japanese Sword demonstration. So there's something for everyone out here, kids, adults, future attendees of the college can come out here, get a really deep dive on the programs out here, connect with the community, and we're really excited. And with that, we can go to the next slide. I would love to ask you, anyone on the call here, you can go into the chat, and I've attached the IBC Showcase flyer. So we would love your help to obviously come out and support us that day, but also spread the word to friends, family, neighbors. You can download this flyer in the chat. There's a QR code that's you can scan in with your phone. You can also email this to friends or download it to your phone and text it. But if there's anyone in your network that would be interested in attending, please help us spread the word. We're really excited for this event. It's going to be awesome. Again, this is Saturday, October 11th. This Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Help us celebrate and connect with the community, please.
Great. Thank you, Seth, for that great overview. Yes, please spread the word. It's going to be a lot of fun out there, and hopefully the weather will be great as well. So we are also excited, speaking of the Centennial, to announce a great Centennial opportunity for students to help define the college's future. So to talk about the next big thing coming up, the Ideation Challenge, is Associate Dean of Student Services for Kinesiology and Athletics, Ryan Byrne. Ryan?
Thank you, Jonathan. Yeah, so I'm excited to present the Ideation Challenge to you all today. So as we celebrate 100 years of College of Marin, we're also looking forward to what the next 100 years might look like. And the Ideation Challenge is about student innovation and imagination and giving students the chance to shape the future of College of Marin. Next slide. Before I jump in, I do want to thank a few folks. First off, our Centennial Summer Fellow, Marin Peters, who was really helpful in shaping this, as well as the Centennial Planning Group. Together, we've created something that's going to empower students to dream big and take action. Next slide. So why we're doing this, as part of the Centennial celebration, we wanted to do more than just reflect on our past. We wanted to build our future. And the Ideation Challenge invites students to dream big and make a difference. It's about student voice, it's about innovation, and it's about leaving a legacy, giving students ownership of what comes next at College of Marin. Next slide. We're looking for three things in a great idea. We're looking for outside the box, something bold and original, real impact, something that improves the student or community experience, something realistic and achievable, a big idea that's actually doable. And we know our students are creative, and this is the chance to let that creativity shine. Next slide. So ideas could be from anywhere. So whether that's something that enhances student experience, improves campus infrastructure, strengthens community engagement, leverages technology and innovation, promotes sustainability, or something totally outside the box, our wildcard category. If you can imagine it, we want to hear it. So how it works. The students will submit a simple proposal describing their idea and what impact it could have and how it could be implemented. They'll include a short plan, maybe even visuals like sketches or a short video. Finalists will present their ideas to a panel of alumni, employees, and community leaders. And then the submission deadline for this is December 19th. So students will have the full semester to pull their ideas together. Next, there we go. Key dates. So the challenge officially launches October 15th, and submissions are open until December 19th. Panels will take place in early 2026, and we'll announce a winner in April, just in time for our Centennial Gala. The goal is to begin implementing the winning idea as early as fall 2026. We want this to be more than just an idea. We want it to become a reality. Next slide. So in terms of awards and recognition, there's real investment behind this. So not only are they going to be implementing the first place prize, it's also going to be a $5,000 award. And the second place prize will be $2,500, and third place gets $1,000. But beyond the cash prizes, this is really about impact. The winning idea will be showcased and brought to life at College of Marin. Next slide. So this is more than just a contest. This is an innovation to shape the future of the college. It's a chance for students to leave their legacy, and we want them to come back 10 years or more later and say, that idea started with me. Next slide. So promotion is starting to roll out. Look for posters and sandwich boards with QR codes, emails, social media posts inviting students to participate. We're making it easy to join. We're excited to see what ideas come forward. And this is a celebration of creativity, collaboration, and community at the heart of College of Marin. Next slide. So we are super excited about this rollout. This is the theme is your idea, our future. And we really want to thank the support of Dr. Eldridge, Keith Rosenthal, the rest of the planning committee, as well as our summer centennial fellow, Mari Peters. So thank you all.
Thank you, Ryan. That was great. And I would encourage everyone who's on this town hall who is not a student to think about how you can help make sure every student knows about this wonderful opportunity. There's so much creativity amongst our students, and to be able to encourage that and reward it while also being able to implement a great idea is really exciting as we look ahead. And hopefully this is something we can institutionalize and make happen every year. So as students think about what might be as the college enters its second 100 years, we are actually in many ways living the future even as we speak. Artificial intelligence represents this future in many ways, and here to speak about the college's AI Collective, a community of practice exploring AI in the context of teaching, learning, and workflow, is our very own Stacy Lintz, instructional designer. Stacy?
Thank you, Jonathan, for the introduction. I'm happy to be here to share our exciting work. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the AI Collective, who we are, and share some data with you around who has joined the AI Collective, and then just talk a little bit about our goals. If you don't know me, I'm Stacy Lintz. My pronouns are she and her. I'm an instructional designer at College of Marin, and I work with educational technology and Canvas. Next slide, please. So the AI Collective is a community of practice, which is a group of people from different areas who are working together to explore and thoughtfully incorporate generative AI into teaching, learning, and our institutional workflows. So when we say generative AI, we're talking mostly about chatbots, ChatGPT, Copilot, those types of tools and tools that might be used by students in the classroom. We're comprised of 17 faculty members, 6 staff, our Dean of Instruction, Carrie Torres, and we have, I put 1 to 2 students because we have 1 and 2 is on the, it may not be joining. So, but our goal was to have a diverse group that represent all areas of the college. They were recruited during Flex Week and through a faculty call. And we're funded through district funds and also strong workforce development funds. And that should have been a D. Next slide, please. So just so you can see the representation across areas, which getting feedback, our first meeting was last Friday. And I think everyone's excited to see that we cover a lot of academic areas and organizational departments. And I feel that we have a strong representation through STEM, which is important as well with chemistry, math. And I'll just shout out to Seth Courtwright, who's also part of the AI Collective. I didn't publish the names of everyone else because I forgot to get their permission. So, but you can see we're well represented. And on the next slide, I'll start sharing a little bit of data, which you probably can relate to. And I asked those interested how they feel about AI, and just, the largest was excited, but if you look through, and I'm sure you all feel the same way, nervous, hopeful, cautious, excited by possibilities, challenging, and again, we just have an array of emotions and feelings towards AI. Next slide. And most of the people who are on board find themselves somewhere in the middle, that they have a general understanding of how AI works, and understanding of the risk and opportunities. And surprisingly, a lot use AI about half use AI regularly to some extent. But we have on the highest spectrum of those who've created their own AI chat agent, and some who are just really getting their feet wet. Next slide. Thanks. And just some of their motivations for joining the AI Collective. They want to support student support and education, that we want to make sure students are using AI responsibly. They want to enhance their own professional growth and preparedness for using AI in the workplace. Many just want to connect with other members of our community, faculty, staff, and students, to see how they're using AI. And others are interested in curriculum and design, instruction, and others are worried about AI's societal impacts. And that includes academic integrity, mental health issues, environmental effects, and wanting to be part of shaping the way we institutionalize AI. And next slide. Thanks. I also asked about how their departments were engaging, or how they felt observed their departments engaging with AI. And that scale was anywhere from their departments were very resistant, all the way to leading the way across campus and beyond. But most, I think, found themselves in the middle, that their departments either had little engagement or engagement has begun. And I just wanted to call out some of the other comments that were made, again, in terms of how they see AI being integrated without a lot of forethought in an ineffective manner. And some are deeply concerned about environmental racism, white supremacy, and hallucinations, and the impact on our community. And that a lot of our responses have been centered around how to prevent cheating. Next slide. So those are all issues that we're sort of addressing together as a collective body. Our goals really are to create frameworks that we can adopt as a college, that will be shared with academic senate, classified senates, participatory government, and leadership. One of those examples is the humans-centered approach, which is Vision 2030's framework for adopting AI. I have a link in there that I'll throw in the chat when we're done, so you can read a little bit more about humans. And that's just one example of what we mean by framework. Our first order of business really is to generate a survey because we really don't have any data on how everyone is using AI throughout the college. So we'd like to survey faculty, staff, and students to find out their feelings around AI, how they're using AI, and the types of tools that they're using as well. And then that will sort of help us guide our work in terms of developing what we'd like to call the AI Commons. And that is a shared collection of best practices, case studies, information for AI literacy to ensure that we're all using AI responsibly, and also vetting tools that meet our security and privacy requirements. As we vet most of our tools, we have not yet vetted AI tools with the exception of 2 that are being used within Canvas. We'd also like to be hosting professional learning opportunities at upcoming COM hours, Flex, and classified professional learning days. So hopefully the surveys will help inform that type of professional learning as well, and what faculty, staff, and students would like to see in terms of training and learning opportunities surrounding AI. So again, our first meeting was Friday. We're meeting first Friday of the month from now until May. So please be on the lookout for exciting professional learning opportunities and our survey. We would greatly appreciate your feedback, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Stacy. So if someone on this webinar says, hey, I'm looking forward to the professional learning, but can I get involved in the Commons in some deeper way? Is there a process for that?
At this time, we've already have our candidates selected through the faculty call. We will post other opportunities through COM hours where they can participate. If they have any suggestions for professional learning, they're welcome to reach out to me as well, or questions about tools, things that they'd like to see at the college. I'm hoping we can get that information through survey, but I will put my email in the chat if anyone has any questions. I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you. And thank you for the important work leading this effort. I know that I've been at meetings where other community colleges are really questioning how to approach use of AI. And I think oftentimes it starts with, should we or shouldn't we? And that's not really the question, because all of what you just talked about, Stacy, is a part of this, and it's well beyond the college, certainly in every facet of our lives. And so I think as we look forward, the good news is we have policies. We have policies on ethics. We have policies on responsible use of technology. We have policies on academic integrity. We have a variety of policies. They were all written before AI really took hold and started moving forward. So how we think about from policy level and a very practical level, we move forward is important for us to have those in-depth discussions and really wrestle with all of those things that folks have already been sharing. So look forward to the survey and much more on this as we move forward. So I mentioned earlier the Center for Student Success, and I was actually able to tour the building with Arthur Hugh, our ASCOM president, and Giovanni Carbonaro, our ASCOM vice president, on Friday. They were very excited to see the new ASCOM space. It is a hive of activity within the building as interior finishes are completed and the building is ready for occupancy. I understand from Vice President Dana Emerson, who can't be on the webinar today. She's at a meeting at Canal Alliance with our partnership with them. But the first floor services, the Wellness Hub, which is student accessibility services, psychological services, the health center, as well as our basic needs hub, which are located on that Creekside level, will be in and operational December 1st, with the rest of the building's areas operational in January. And one of those areas that will be in the new CSS is a cafe. And here to tell us about who will be operating the cafe, pending board approval at our October meeting, is Vice President of Finance and College Operations, Arisa Pooch. Arisa?
Thank you, President Eldridge. Good afternoon, everyone. So after publishing the public bidding process for the new Center for Student Success Cafe, back in July of this year, the vendor, and we had a few bidders. There were two vendors who met our requirements for the request for proposal. And the vendor review work group is very delighted to recommend Pink Owl as the vendor for the grab and go coffee and food at the new CSS building in our October board meeting. And this recommendation will go to the board, and if approved, Pink Owl will begin serving the campus and our community starting January 2026. And so we're looking forward to bringing in fresh, student-friendly options that support campus life and keeps everyone fueled throughout the day. Now, we will continue to have these as our cafeteria vendor in the Student Services building. And so Pink Owl will be serving from the new CSS building in January 2026. Thank you.
And I understand, Arissa, that they have planned a significant discount program for both students and for employees. Is that right?
That is correct. 25% discount of their already lowered prices, and 25% discount for students and 10% discount for staff. And this is on top of the very low prices already, not the same price that they normally offer in their other branches.
Wonderful. Thank you for all of the work, yours, as well as the selection committee. I know a lot of work went into this, and that you did a great job of engaging students and getting their perspective, including that as well. So thank you for that. Before we answer the questions that were submitted, and if anyone on here has a question, you can put it in. We'll see if we can get to it. But I want to highlight a few upcoming events I want to make sure you know about. First, of course, is It's Fall Y'all this coming October 15th. So it's coming up in a couple of weeks. Should be great gathering for our 4th annual Fall Y'all. There's a coordination group that is putting that together. And this is, if nothing else, just a great opportunity for everyone in the college community to come together, enjoy some food, enjoy some music, enjoy activities, learn about our learning communities and other resources, and enjoy each other's company. So be sure to mark your calendars, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. On Wednesday, October 15th. Really looking forward to that. Additionally, we'll be kicking off Cocoa with the cabinet. So I and my cabinet, my leadership at the college, will be hosting an event with hot cocoa as we head into the colder months, and as we get toward Thanksgiving and beyond. We're still determining the location for that, but we will be having that on November 17th, that Monday, during community hour. So look forward, a chance to come together, enjoy some cocoa, interact with each other, ask any questions you may have of college leadership. We will be there and happy to answer whatever questions folks may have. And then working with Lorraine Russell, a coach of the basketball team and a kinesiology faculty, on putting together a pickleball with the president. We've yet to figure out the exact date and location, but that will be forthcoming shortly. We'll keep you posted. I brag that I've been playing pickleball since fall of 1987, which is only partially accurate in that I played in the fall of 1987 as a PE requirement my freshman year in college, and then I haven't played again until just recently, where my 13-year-old daughter is making me run all over the court. So it's good cardio for me, not so much for her. She seems way more talented than I am, but look forward to getting out and having some fun with that as well. So at this point, I also want to note that prior to the pandemic, these town halls were held in person. And then obviously we moved them online, which made them in some ways much more accessible and had better numbers. But starting this spring, we're going to try to mash together the past and the present into a future hybrid approach. So we'll be hosting the town hall in person on each campus with a Zoom in option. Another opportunity for us to come together as a community, interact in person when we're able, but also make sure that we're getting everyone else who's coming to and fro and from different locations connected in as well. So stay tuned for that. Jesse Klein in my office will be promoting, putting out there the dates for the spring town halls upcoming. So at this point, here are the questions. There's actually 2 questions and 2 comments that were submitted in advance. I'll read them out, ask folks to respond to those, and then if any others come in, we'll try to get to those as well. So the first question is, how is the district doing financially, including a set aside for the next 5 years? And I believe that's talking about our commitment to ensure that we have healthy reserves, that we're investing in our facilities, we're investing in innovation, and making sure we're investing in our retirement supplement so that we can make sure we have a balanced budget well into the future. So Arissa, would you like to come back on and say a few words about how we're doing financially?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Eldridge. And hello again, folks. I'm pleased to share with you an update on the district's budget following Q1 of our current fiscal year. We are now in the month of October, and we just completed the first quarter of the fiscal year. We are faring well and remain firmly on track with both our revenue and expenditure projections from our annual budget. The college continues to operate with a balanced budget, and we attribute that to careful planning. We've successfully invested in key priorities, including campus maintenance, pension protection, and innovation initiatives with our brand new innovation fund. And so these investments reflect our commitment to long-term financial health and student success. As we enter the next budget development cycle this fall, we look forward to another opportunity to build on this momentum, strengthening our financial position and aligning our resources with our shared goals. So I want to thank you all for your continued support and engagement.
Thank you, Arissa. The next 2 items that came in, I think, are more comments than questions. And the first one is, please mention the police department is working with College of Marin as a whole to push out messaging for the Great California Shakeout, which is an earthquake and emergency preparedness event that takes place every year. This year on the 16th, so Thursday the 16th at 10:16 a.m., where we will test the Alertus campus-wide emergency notification system. So be advised, you'll get an alert on your computer to practice getting under your desk at that time. Stop, drop, and hold on, I guess, are the rules of engagement now for earthquakes. So there you have it. I've done my part of passing along that comment to the group. The next is a sort of hybrid. I think it's a question as well as a comment. It says, the contrast in enrollment between the Kentfield and IVC campuses is striking. At times, it feels as though there's more wildlife on the IVC campus than students. Outside of the Miwok Center, it appears there's very little activity or engagement taking place at IVC. It would be extremely helpful if the COM website highlighted and clearly organized existing trade and vocational programs that are available, not only improve awareness, but also strengthen community connections and student pathways into these fields. It's a great comment, great suggestion. I would say that there actually is quite a bit of activity at IVC. A lot of it, though, is in cohort base, whether it be medical assisting, dental assisting, EMT, or auto tech, and others, where that activity either comes in large groups early in the morning in some of our allied health programs, and then they're off out into their clinical placements or out into the workplace. And so you don't see them if you're there at certain times. Similarly, we have some programs that where once it gets to be 5 or 6 in the evening, then the campus energizes again with lots of evening programs, folks coming from employment or other things, as well as on the weekends, our construction program and others busy then. So there are pockets of activity that are where there's intense use, and then there are other times where it valleys out a bit. I would say this is one of the reasons that we are looking at continued investment at IVC in the form of our partnership with Marin Fire. And as many of you know, we are in the process of establishing a long-term lease for Building 17 at IVC with the county so that they can house fire recruits and seasonal fire workers when necessary up there, part of our Fire Foundry program and our commitment to advancing wildfire preparedness and diversifying the fire service. Having folks living up there, not just taking the classes related to their program, but taking other classes as well and using the facilities will further enhance. And we're constantly working with our friends and partners at Novato Unified School District to ensure that we have good opportunities for their students, both while they're in high school as well as upon graduation. So a lot going on in that front. And I would say the IVC showcase is a great example to see just how much is going on and to learn more about the campus if you're not familiar with it. All that said, point well taken about the webpage. I know we're going through a webpage transition that's been a little rocky, had some technical issues, and I know that Nicole Cruz and Scott Conrad and all of their folks are working hard to get us through that, at which point in time it should be easier to make sure that we add some content as well. I'm going to pause for a second. I see that we've got a couple of questions coming in. The next question is, what is being done to address the campus climate, including the mass exodus of managers and administrators? So to comment on that perception, I'm going to ask Nikki Harris, our Vice President of Human Resources, to hop on. Nikki?
Thank you, Dr. Eldridge. Good afternoon, everyone. And also thank you for the question. I actually was taken back by the question because I wasn't aware that folks out there felt this way, considering none of our data support it. One of the things I want to highlight that's very important is that we did a survey last fall, and we're 80% satisfactory of what our employees have shared with us. The other 20%, our goal is to close that gap. And there's been a lot of initiatives happening throughout the district throughout last year and this year to address those issues. And some of those issues are around career advancement. And I can tell you the data I have on the administrators that have left and managers are related to career advancement. However, we have the EEO Advisory Council, we have the Professional Learning Committee. We've had multiple areas of professional development to address some of those issues around career advancement, as well as communication. Communication also showed up as something in our employee engagement survey, which is this town hall is one of them. Some of the things you all see that is going to be happening this academic year, such as the IVC showcase and other things, even convocation was centered around communication, as well as the president sending out communication, the vice president of student learning success having office hours, et cetera. So there's a lot of activities around to address some of those concerns that came up in the survey. And I will say the idea of that administrators are leaving at mass exodus is just simply not true, and our records don't show that. However, we're here to support anyone who needs support around developing career advancement as well as communication, which has been our focus for the last year and a half.
Great, thank you, Nikki. I would say that, as far as that perception goes, we have been incredibly fortunate at the college to have a large number of administrators who've been here for 7, 8, 9, 10 years. That is not common. I talk with my colleagues all the time, and they're constantly struggling with turnover in fact, I think the Community College League of California statistics say that, administrative positions, the median length of time is about 4.5 years at the most, depending on the category, whether that be deans or directors or vice presidents. Some of that is good. That's actually career advancement, as Nikki said. And we've had a number of folks who've been able to move on, move up, earn more money, be closer to family, do the things that they want to do. But I think we have really been blessed to have a really stable cohort of folks for a long time. I think the pandemic probably actually lengthened that, some of what it would have been in terms of folks going out for that career advancement. But I know I've worked with, and it's a standing offer to anyone, but I'm happy to work with folks if they want to talk about their career advancement. Some of that's happened here. We have folks who have been able to advance internally, but we're also a small institution. And so there aren't enough vice president positions for any number of deans or directors who have eyes on that. But if we're doing great preparation and they're getting taken away by others and given that opportunity, then it's good for them, even if it's a loss for us. Thank you, Nikki. A couple more questions and then we'll wrap up. We have someone say, are the Centennial event flyers also available in Spanish to send out to our ESL community? If so, where can we access them? And that Nicole Cruz from Marketing Communications can respond to that. I don't believe she's on here now, but we can certainly make sure that our marketing and communications folks are able to, if not generate those, have them and get them out to folks upcoming. And then there's one last question that I see here. It says, what are the plans for the sheriff's satellite office located on campus, especially given information about their collaboration with ICE? I would encourage everyone, if you haven't already, to read the article in Marin IJ today. It talks in depth and interviews a whole host of folks who have information on our sheriff's office, the program that has gotten attention lately, where they have shared certain information about folks who have criminal offenses and have been convicted of crimes. Even that is something that we can certainly debate as to whether they should be doing that or if that's a practice that we would like as a community for them to continue with. But in any case, I would say that their cooperation with ICE and collaboration with ICE, as I understand it from talking with the county administrator, talking with county supervisors and others, is very limited. Now, that said, we may continue to question that. As far as the substation that is located in parking lot 6, it will be moving. We are committed to getting the portables out of our parking lots and other locations, adding in parking, adding in EV charging, and all of that process will start with all of the portables on campus in 2026 and continue into 2027. We are in negotiation with the county about the future of the lease with the sheriff substation. We will conduct our due diligence around all of this as we go forward with that. But they will be moving, and if they do remain on the college campus, it will be at a much less obvious location in response to some of the concerns out there, as well as the practical issues of making sure that we're able to utilize our very prominent areas along College Avenue for much better purposes. So with that, I don't see any additional questions, but I would say thank you to everyone for attending today and looking forward to seeing all of you at the many events upcoming, hopefully at the IVC Showcase, at the plays, at musical performances later on, at Fall Y'all. Certainly we'll have some cocoa and we'll play some pickleball unless I pull a hamstring between now and whenever we get it scheduled. So anyway, thank you all. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you around campuses. Take care.